Maybe you have more than one job. Maybe you're doing multiple things for multiple streams of income, but you're still not living the life you want to live because financially, the math is just not mathing.
Am I really that much? And breaking these niggas down like a camel. You don't really know you are.
What's up, YouTube fam? Welcome back to my channel if you are new here. My name is Nicole, and on this channel, I create content, all things how to live a better quality of life, how to live a more enjoyable and beautiful life. So if you're on a journey to self-improvement or just trying to be a better you, live a better life, subscribe to my channel. I'm sure I have some type of content over here that will help you, be beneficial to you in your journey. Okay, so if you clicked on this video, you are likely desperately trying to find ways to save money. You feel like you're working extremely hard and you're not seeing your bank account to match. Maybe you have more than one job. Maybe you're doing multiple things for multiple streams of income, but you're still not living the life you want to live because financially, the math is just not mathing. So today's video, I'm going to share my top tips. And this is not anything that I've gotten from Google or anything like that. These are just hard truths that I've had to tell myself and tips that I want to share that I've had to take for myself to truly be able to save money, especially in 2025. Now, we're going to get into it, and I'm just going to preface these tips in saying that you have to be disciplined to save money. You have to be honest with yourself to save money, and you have to be consistent to save money. All right. I'm not going to make this video too long or too drawn out, but let's go ahead and jump into these tips. All right. And I wrote them in my phone. So if you see me looking down, it's because I put some notes in my phone so I can stay on track and just give y'all the message, okay? All right, so tip number one, don't let people borrow money, okay? Now, I am guilty of this. I have been guilty of this for a long time, and this has nothing to do with other people. It's strictly about you and your savings goals and your budgeting and your finance goals, okay? So hear me out. If you are on a journey yourself to saving money and you know that, you have to put some things in place to be able to do this, you have to cut out the noise. So if somebody, now I'm not saying if there's an emergency, one of your loved ones, friends, family has an emergency, are in a financial bind that's like a one-off, they never ask you for money. If you got it and you feel like I need to help this person, go right ahead. But if you have people in your life who are always asking people for money, who have asked you for money multiple times or tend to ask you for money on a regular basis, they become a bill. Okay. And what we're trying to do to save money is we're trying to reduce our expenses. We're trying to reduce our bills. So you're going to have to say no. And I've done this. Unfortunately, it just happens. I have to say no. And it's because I'm focusing on myself. I'm being strict with myself and what I want and my needs and my goals for myself. And it's not to be mean. It's not to be selfish. I work hard for my money. And if I know that you're constantly asking for money from myself, for other people, or from other people, then that means that you're not serious about your finances. And I can't let that throw me off my game. So have I said, no, I don't have it? When people have asked me and I did have it, yes, because I don't have it to give. And sometimes if you let people borrow money, and even if you do have it, I know personally, it'll throw my finances off. Sometimes, say they do pay you back. It's hard to kind of visually see what you have, how you're tracking to your savings goal. If all these people owe you money, you're constantly lending out money. You're not able to, especially when you're on a journey to trying to get right yourself, you cannot be throwing out money to people, emergencies only. But tip number one is don't let people borrow money. Not while you're on this journey trying to get to a place of reaching your savings goal, reaching your goal to reduce your debt, whatever your financial goals are during this journey. And it doesn't have to be forever for life, but until you get to a good place where you're seeing your money grow, you're seeing your debt go down, you have to say no to borrowing or loaning money out to people who ask to borrow it, period. Emergencies only. Like I said, I'm not trying to ever, if somebody's, that you really love is on the brink of getting put out their home, or lights about to be shut out, or they don't have no food to eat, and it's something that they don't always ask for money, and you can help them out, by all means help them, but you have to be disciplined and say no. All right. Now, tip number two, this is something that I've done for myself on a regular basis, and it kind of goes along with tip number one, but it's a little bit different. I'm telling y'all, this has helped me so much. And everything in life is about balance, right? But this has helped me so much in my discipline era, in my era of like, okay, I'm getting strict with my finances. I want to buy a house. I want to reach this savings goal. I want to pay down this credit card or this car note, whatever. Tip number 2 is to mentally act like you don't have it, okay? When I say this, I mean, you can put the money in your regular bank account, your regular savings account, or you can put it off into an account that you don't look at regularly. Whatever works for you, whatever is going to do it for you. But you have to mentally act like you don't have it. And when I say that, I mean, say you have some money that you're supposed to be saving, right? Your girls call you and be like, let's go to brunch. In your mind, you need to mentally say, "Now, I don't have it. I don't have the money to go out to brunch," because you don't, because that money is going towards savings to reach your goal. A last minute trip. I don't have it. Yes, you may actually have the money in your bank account. Yes, you may actually have the money in your hand. But if you have savings goals or financial goals, then you don't have it for that trip. You don't have it for that outing. You don't have it to go buy shots at the bar. You don't have it to go randomly get these new shoes or a new bag that just came out. You don't have it. Okay. We have to be disciplined on this journey to reaching our financial goals, because if we don't, we're not going to get there, period. So I want you to mentally act like you don't have it. And that comes with everything that comes your way during whatever time frame you're going to, really lock in. I've done this to the point where it's like, okay, let's do 6 months at a time, right? 6 months at a time, take these tips and really lock in. Well, I said the first tip, don't let people borrow money. Second tip, act like you mentally don't have it. I don't have it. Out of sight, out of mind. So if you do need to put it into a separate account, do that. But this is really, really going to help y'all. I'm telling you, it has helped me so much. When you act like you don't have it, you're going to save so much faster. You're going to be so much closer to your financial goals, girl. And you're going to be so proud of yourself at the end. Trust me. Trust me. I've done this and I've been able to buy multiple houses. I've been able to save for a new car. I've been able to save for the trip I wanted. I've been able to save for whatever. So I've been able to successfully reach my financial goals with these tips that I'm giving y'all in this video. And this is really transparent. This is not, like I said, not cookie cutter off the internet. These are just tips that I really have implemented myself to save and to reach my financial goals. All right. So tip number 3 is going to be live below your means. I cannot stress this enough, okay? Live below your means. And this is going to go into my last tip too. So make sure you stay for the whole video, because I have one final tip that's going to help you even more. But I want you to live below your means. That means if you make, maybe you just got a new job, right? You're making more money. You're like, oh yes, I'm about to be living. You have to still be strict if you have financial goals, okay? So if you're making more money, right? That does not mean to go out and get a new car. Now you got this extra bill. Now you're like, oh, I can afford it now. I have a higher paying job now, so I can afford it. Yes, you can probably afford it. But if you stick with that car you have now while you lock in, no car note, you'll be able to save more. The more you make and you're not changing your expenses, come on, math it up for me, okay? So I want you to live below your means. It goes back to kind of acting like you don't have it, mentally psyching yourself out. But if you live below your means, and when you're shopping, when you're planning out, meals, food, gas, if you want to take on new expenses, moving, maybe you got a new job and you want this high-rise apartment, or you want a more luxury home. Yes, you can afford it. But you don't want to increase your expenses. You want to live below your means, at least for 6 months. I would say 6 months to a year to really lock in, to really reach your financial goals, especially in the current economy, y'all. I've been doing a lot of financial content lately because this is the era that I'm in. This is what I'm really focusing on and paying attention to. Because if you know me, if you've seen me on any platform, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, you know that I'm talking all about living a more beautiful life, living stress-free, trying to take care of myself, mind, body, and soul, and just be the healed version of myself. How can we do that, y'all, if we're stressed over money? You just really can't. I don't know about you, but you can't. So tip number 3, again, is to live below your means. Don't even try to live at your means. You know, some people are living above their means, but try your best to live below your means. Have the cheapest things possible on your expenses list, okay? All right, now, hope you're enjoying this video. I hope it's helping you. I hope it's making some wheels spin to be like, I'm gonna lock in, I'm gonna save money. If this video is helping you, if you're finding it beneficial so far, please subscribe to my channel. Click the subscribe button, leave a comment, turn on the notification, the little bell icon, whatever you can, because that's gonna help YouTube and the algorithm to tell other people more about this video. People who are trying to save, people who are just really looking for whatever tips and resources they can to get on track and save money. The more you engage with this video through those avenues, liking, commenting, sharing, whatever, the more YouTube is going to push this out to people so they can get the information too. And I'm on a journey to 4,000 subscribers, and I would really appreciate any support and help to help me get there. I really just want to continue to give more messages, more positivity into the world to people who are just trying to better themselves. And the best way for me to do that is to continue to have my supporters help and spread the word so more people can learn about this channel, this community. All right, enough of that. Let's get into tip number 4. Now, some of these tips may seem like they're going hand in hand, but they're separate too. Tip number 4 is to deprive yourself for at least 6 months. Whatever the period is you're going to lock in, I would say if you're new to this, try for 6 months at a time, okay? Deprive yourself. What I mean when I say that is, I'm not saying starve yourself. I'm not saying to live homeless or anything like that. I'm saying to deprive yourself. Certain luxuries cost money, right? I've talked about DIYing, and DIYing things is something I do not only to save money, but because I like things done a certain way. I don't like to depend on other people, and it really helps me mentally to know that, okay, I'm gonna learn how to do it by myself. I'm gonna figure it out, and I can do it when I want it done, and I don't have to wait on anybody else. But it also saves you money. I have a video on DIY beauty maintenance for my ladies. I will link that so you can check that out if you want to save money, you know, in the beauty area. But deprive yourself. If you go on a trip every month, deprive yourself. Maybe, I'm not saying you have to completely stop going on trips, but cut it back. Okay, deprive yourself. Act like you don't have it. Like I said before, you may want to go to fancy restaurants for dinner every week. Maybe once a week you go already. Try to just do it quarterly, not once a week. Deprive yourself. We all, especially women, okay? I know we like luxury. I know we like the bags. I'm not a label whore at all, but I know a lot of us like the bags. We like to go shopping. Every time we see a new trend of clothes or weaves on social media or whatever ad we see, we just gotta have it. You know, we just like, you know, and I feel it because I work very hard. You know, I've worked my way up to get to the place I'm in with my 9-to-5 job, with my content creator life, with the entrepreneur stuff that I'm trying to pursue. I work hard, right? So we deserve to reward ourselves too. But in this period of your life where you're trying to really lock in and save money and reach your financial goals, I need you to deprive yourself just for a little bit. It's going to pay off in the long run, especially if you have goals that are going to take you to the next level ultimately. Like, for example, saving for a house, saving for a down payment, trying to get down your debt so that you can qualify for a mortgage. All of these things, it'll pay off in the long run, but you have to think about first, what are your financial goals? And if you have financial goals, you should be okay with depriving yourself of some of the luxuries that you like in life until you're able to get there, until you're able to get the financial things in place, reach those financial goals and feel secure there. And then those luxury things are going to always be there. Okay. And hopefully by then the economy is a little bit better. But yes, deprive yourself, girl, if you have to. Like, we are trying to save money. We are trying to not have the stress of finances and being in debt and not being able to pay for things and having to borrow money. Like, we're not doing that. Okay. All right. Now, the last tip. Okay. This is a tip that's for your period while you're locking in, but it's also an ongoing tip. And this is something I do on a regular basis. I tell my people in real life this. I've said this in other financial videos that I've done over here on YouTube. But you need to assess your finances on a regular basis. And when you're assessing these finances on a regular basis, you need to constantly figure out how can you cut expenses and earn more income. Okay. So say we're doing 6 months, right? Every month, I want you to look at your expenses and be like, okay, what am I spending money on a regular basis that I can cut back? You know, is it you have 5 streaming services and you only use 2? Look at that, assess that on a regular basis, and then end the other 3. You know, cancel the other 3 if you can. Evaluate your finances. Is your cable or internet bill higher than you think it should be? Look into other plans. Look into alternative plans to see if that's an option for you to save money. I know me personally, I'm on Geico's butt every 6 months because I'm like calling them every 6 months. Like, I've been a customer for X number of years. What can you do to help me save money so I don't go to the next insurance company? So I do stuff like that because I feel like if we get too content with our bills, or we'll get into income in a second, but if we get too content with the way our finances are, nothing's going to change, and we're not going to be able to really accelerate the process to reach our financial goals. So a lot of times I will, on a regular basis, look at what I'm paying for, look at what's coming in and out of my account, and figure out how I can make changes to be able to have more of a savings at the end of the month. So whatever bills it is, you know, if it's something that you're not using, if it's something that you don't use enough, evaluate and assess to see where you can cut expenses. And then also, one of the things I like to do is, it may not be as frequent when it comes to my 9 to 5, but I like to assess, what is the job market looking like? What is the salaries on average looking like for what I do? What are people in my company getting paid? What are people in the same industry in different companies getting paid? And if you can, go to your leadership to see if there's a room for your salary to increase, or if it's time for like a merit or whatever you call it in your company, propose that you get paid this amount, and, you know, write a list of your accomplishments to see if they'll give you more money, or start looking at other jobs, or look for secondary income. There's a lot of avenues out here to make money online, to make money in your sleep. People do the deliveries, DoorDash, Amazon. There's all types of income, and a lot of videos on YouTube to show you how to earn additional income. So if you're not able to really cut your expenses, but you're able to find ways to make additional income that's not going to stress you out and not going to like make you exhausted from time commitments, then you should do that and assess that regularly, because that's going to help accelerate you getting to your financial goals, being able to save more and save faster and get that debt down even faster. Okay, so that was it. That was it, y'all. It was tip number 5. These are literally things I just wrote down, like, okay, what do I want to share with them? Because I want ultimately people to live a healthier, happier life, a more beautiful life. And I just really know from growing up and seeing my mother and my aunts and stuff stress over money, I don't want that for us, because it's enough craziness in the world today, and I don't want people to be stressed over money. And I know I've been there, and I know I've gotten out of it. So I just want to help, and I want y'all to save these coins, okay? So I hope this video was helpful. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share with somebody who is struggling to save money. I pray that this helps someone. I know it will, because it's helped me. I've helped people in my real life who have been asking me, like, how are you doing it? How did you buy a house? I'm single. I'm not perfect, but I take these tips, everything that I share with y'all when it comes to finances on this channel. I've done this, and this is how I've been able to kind of elevate financially in life. And I just want that for y'all too. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Nicole, and I will see y'all in my next video.